good.
Great. Well, I just want to welcome everyone and say thank you for joining us today at Continence Chat. Deanna, are you excited about this?
Oh, I'm always excited, Susie. I'm super excited.
Well, our guest today is Nancy Rothman, and she is the owner of Life Care Home Medical in El Dorado Hills, California. And we're here at Continence Chat to share stories. So Nancy, we would just love to hear the stories that you have that could benefit our listeners.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it all starts with Seni, of course. And I was introduced to Seni several years back and fell in love with the product. I was using a different product, and you're kind enough to give samples. So it's really easy to tell somebody to try this. And I have to say that 100% of my customers that were using the other products switched to Seni. And I'm not kidding. And I fell in love with the product. So the stories are that I had incontinence people, people on incontinence programs with me. And so I said, go ahead and switch. And they came in and they fell in love with it. They said it was softer, more manageable, comfortable, more absorbent. So there was just, I'm not even kidding. So it got me very excited because, of course, I want to help people and know that you two are there, to back the product if I have any questions or anything. And so that's really what really is a supportive measure here when you're trying to pass things along to customers, clients, patients. So that really helped a lot. And so the stories are of just that initial switching and them just being so happy and staying on the incontinence program that I have, and new customers being able to give them the samples. And I have a customer that, she's been coming in for about 5 years, and she had surgery, and she was living with her daughter and just grumpy. She had this surgery because all of a sudden she was incontinent, and incontinent both with, the urine and the bowels. And so it was all new to her. So each time they came in, we would try something different. At first she wanted, I don't need much, but she really did. So then she stuck with the supers and even the quattro. And then, so she stayed on it for a long time. Eventually she got better, but not confident. And the incontinence stayed with the bladder. So then she went and she tried different things. What's going to fit me when I sleep, when I'm out shopping? What am I going to feel comfortable in? And we went through all of the things, and she came out with the classics, with the classic brand, not brand, but strength, absorbency. Sorry, and then so now she's constantly, she's got to have that. She's got to have that. And she orders 3 packages all the time because 4 is too much for her little place. So it's really cute. But so she's been happy. And that's been about 4 years, at least 4 years that she has been on that journey. And now she can't live without it because when she goes out shopping or does anything, she says, just in case. So throughout her journey, she was at the highest absorbency, and now she's just wearing the classic. Yeah.
That's wonderful. It sounds like you were listening to her needs.
Yes, definitely. And being able to talk, and when people come in, because it's all new, and some of them are like nervous, or some of them are just like, I don't need that, but they do. Then what we're trying to do is just accomplish something. They come up with a plan for them, and they feel safe, when they come in here versus coming into a big box store somewhere and just kind of slipping something out and not knowing what they're getting. At least we can talk about it and tell them the different levels of absorbency, options. Maybe I'm not ready for a pull-up, so I'm going to wear the pad. Or maybe when I sleep at night, I'll wear the pull-up, but I'll wear a booster with it just in case, and my position is off and I just need that extra security. So we can talk about all that, and it's comforting to them because, of course, nobody expects to be incontinent. And so either you're going to be grumpy about it, resistant, all types of things. And that's where, when they come in, they can talk to me about it, and we can have a conversation, and it's just very fluid. And with the help of Seni, with your samples, I have to say that it's just so wonderful. We can try different things and give them options of what they really like. I do have some customers who will get the lower absorbency and wear it during the day while they're at work, but then they have the thicker absorbency, the supers, the plus at night, and that's their program. And so they really, really enjoy it. I was able to introduce 2 new customers that their husbands have recently just taken a turn. Very resistant, very resistant. And so that's exactly what I did. Here's the samples, just leave them there. Regardless, he's going to need them. And now both of them are using them, both of them. And they have to, because it's very hard on a caretaker as well, to have that battle, and it's nice that I can be kind of a liaison and make it feel kind of normal. And this is the new normal for them. No judgment, no anything. It's just, it is what it is. So it's nice that I'm able to do that and comfort them. And I do that with all my products and their transitions. But it's really, really, this subject here is one of those tough ones, especially with men, and the options and just the comfort level that they have, being able to speak with somebody face to face or through a little message, it's just really nice. And it's nice that I can provide that, because it's scary for somebody. It really is. And I understand that. It's so scary. And if it's scary for them, then, they need to talk about it a little bit more, not just go and, sit there and be alone and say, oh, what do I do? And, a lot of times it's a lot of pride for them, of course. Now I'm all of a sudden back in a diaper, and it's not a diaper. It's an extension of what's happening right now for you. And this is the situation. So, it might as well have the best product there is. And I think we found it here.
It sounds like you're guiding them on their path, and there could be a lot of unknowns on that path, especially if it's a first time situation. And it also sounds like you're making an uncomfortable conversation very comfortable, because it sounds like they're trusting you.
Yes, definitely. They're definitely trusting me. And whether it's, just let me chat with your husband while he's in the car, I could do that. It's not a problem for me. I think that any situation, in this industry, there's a change of life in some situations. So incontinence or whatever. So I've become a master of that, and I enjoy it. And I always think, what would I have this conversation with my own family member? How would I say that? How would we have that conversation? And really, that's how I treat it, going in and just guide them exactly, And if they're not ready, that's fine. But I always slip a sample all the time, just slip a sample and the brochure, and I let them know. And also, I have gone out to, and I think this, Deanna or Susie, both of you know this. that I've gone out to the assisted livings homes, and I do half-hour free talks. And incontinence is one of the things that I talk about to them. And so if they're living in a assisted living home, there's kind of a break with the family because they're kind of independent. Maybe the family comes and visits. Maybe the family notices there's something different. So I can have that conversation. They can all listen to me and maybe grab on to what I'm saying. And at the end of the session, they can come up, they can look at everything. I could talk to them and I can just say, well, go ahead and try it. And like you had said, to put the stickers on, you had told me, Susie, to put the stickers. So I always put the stickers on each one of the samples. And so then I'll get the phone call. And then they can just be with me direct on the phone. Hey, this is what's going on, blah, 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 blah. Maybe they don't even want to talk to their family member. Maybe they're too embarrassed. We don't know. Everybody's different in how they handle that situation when it occurs. So it's not a problem for me to talk to them, and I really enjoy it, and just helping them guide them along their path. And those half-hour talks that I do really, really help, because I think none of them really have to say anything. And if they don't come up and get a sample or find out a little bit more, at least they have my card, because on each one of the seats, I put my card, and then they can call me directly if they don't want to be seen up, talking to me or whatever, because it's such a private issue for some people. And other people, they have no problem with it. I have a gentleman who is in his 40s, and he works construction. A lot of times he's crawling under buildings and, doing whatever there. And he buys his product from me, and he buys typically a case at a time. And I've asked him other things like, wouldn't you want an external catheter? Is this a problem? And he says, no, I don't. He says, and he will only buy Seni because he loves the product. And he uses the briefs. He finds it very secure. And he says when he does has to crawl and he's on, his back or his side or something, he feels very, very secure in them. And so that's what he does. Recently, he hasn't got it from me because I think with his construction job, he moves different places. So, but that's another story. He's just a normal guy who has some issues, and he's very open about it, whereas some people are not,
You speak with great calmness too. I can see very much why your clients would open up with you and talk with you and discuss things. But kudos. I'm impressed whenever, I know you're a store owner, but to take the time and to educate. And I think the 30-minute talk with assisted living, gosh, is so needed. I feel so grateful to be working with you. It's almost an extension of Seni. But I think, Nancy, so many things that you said within sharing with us, I heard, keeping people safe. You mentioned the samples, I think, are a big deal. I love that we're able to give samples. But one of the things that stuck with me is you shared the story about a person who started with a brief at more of a heavy, severe absorbency level and shifted back to a less severe, more of a moderate level. And that is awesome, because to your point that you said at the beginning, everybody wants to improve continence first, which is our philosophy as well as our company. To actually hear a story that improving continence has happened is kind of awesome. That's the thing that resonates. As I'm going along, I'm thinking like, wow, there's so many things you're touching on. But that to me was like, wow, in action, continence being improved. That's really super cool. Awesome.
Yes. It is very, very nice. And it is great because whether they're male, female, whatever. And so now they can come in And when they come in, they just feel so comfortable here. They sit and they chat. We talk about different things. And so I could find out a little bit about their lives. And, there's people from all walks of life that need this type of thing. And recently I had somebody who was from the LG, I'm going to say all the words wrong.
LGBTQ.
There you go, community, and going through a transition. And at first was very, I could just tell, very, very like nervous or whatever, but having incontinence issues. And so we talked it through, and I could tell after a couple of moments they were okay. I could talk to her. And so we got them on what they needed to be and continued to get the product here, because of the different surgeries and things that they, when they're transitioning or whatever. So that's also a customer of mine recently. And so it was very, very nice that they can come in here and I can help them. And rather than having to do, alone time or try different things out there. And so now that's another customer. So it's been really, really nice. And I think the main thing is that you have a product. It's a great product. You stand behind it, both of you, your company does. Through talking with all my customers, feeling it, having a great chain to talk to has just made it very, very easy for anybody. And that's really what we want. We don't want any resistance of it's just something somebody made. And there's more of a story here to that, I think. And I think people need to know about it. And I do go ahead and tell them, the origin and where they're made. And I think things like that are important, whether they want to hear it or not. I tell them.
Well, we appreciate you sharing with us, Nancy. And what's speaking to my heart right now is you're creating a very safe place for people who are seeking solutions. And it can be a very awkward stage when people find themselves dealing with incontinence. There could be some shame or humiliation, a lot of fear, I would imagine. But just hearing your stories and hearing the tone in your voice, I could see where people would feel comfortable. Like Deanna had mentioned, your whole demeanor so calm and trustworthy. And we're thrilled to have you out in the field, working with your clients and your customers, doing the trainings and the educating for people that are out there. People, they have to have a place to go. And yes, online can be big, but it's not the same as having that person in front of you with that reassuring voice and offering solutions. So kudos to you, Nancy, in your business and what you're doing in your community. We are thrilled to be working with you. And I know, Deanna, you probably have something to add as well.
Yeah, I just, again, just want to say thank you. And I would love, Nancy, if you just reiterate, I know Susie introduced you at the beginning of the show, but where Life Care Home Medical is located, because honestly, if I'm in the area, I would feel comfortable talking with you. And that to me is half the battle. It's exactly that you said the point. We are out, our teammates and so forth. We're in a lot of communities or health fairs or what have you. And you have a demographic that says, hey, I'll share intimate details. And that's okay. We're professional people and able to listen and share, like you said. And at the same time, you have some of those folks that are more reserved and concerned, and I don't want to share too much, but you being able to say too much is okay and too little is okay. And hey, if we can meet in the middle, that's probably the best way to help. But I think it's important if you just, share your company name again and where you're located. And I just want to say thank you. I know we've had a long relationship with your store and yourself and so forth. And just know that we really value it. We really do. So we appreciate you being here too, because I know you're busy.
Well, thank you. And I value Seni, and, truly I do, because when I find a great product and then it can extend to these people, and, speaking to both your points of, sometimes it's awkward, it's, a little scary or whatever. It's nice to have a company that backs up, and there's people like you that we can speak to if there's any other needs. So I appreciate that. And people can find me here in El Dorado Hills. I'm not far from Sacramento. I'm kind of in between Sacramento and South Lake Tahoe. So I take care of all the Western Slope, that area. And anybody can come in and talk to me. They can call me on the phone. They can do a little chat on my website, anything. And with the tools that you've given me, I can help them start their journey and feel confident about it.
Well, thank you, Nancy. We appreciate you. And thank you to those that are watching and listening. We're glad that you were with us here today, and have a great week.
All right.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you all.